Welcome to another segment of How to Survive College, brought to you by the Academic Support Center. Today we'll be talking about something that, as you grow into adulthood, is important to get good at, and that's communication. Good communication will ensure that you're maximizing your learning and helping yourself through the times when it gets tough. Before we start with the very specific tips, here's a really important general tip. Check your LPU email at least once a day. The school is actually not allowed to email you on your personal emails after you have an LPU one set up, and there will be a lot of important information communicated to you via that LPU email. This is what is involved with being a responsible adult. Okay, now that that's out of the way, here's some specific tips. Number 1, communicate to your professor when you can't be in class or when you miss homework for the week. These two elements of communication are key for a few reasons. First, it helps your professor know that you're still taking their class seriously and want to succeed, but that something came up. Professors are human. We can lose patience with students, so communicating with us can help us know how to support you best, so we don't think the worst of you. I try not to anyways. But even more than how this benefits us professors, communicating with your professors even more benefits you. By communicating when you miss a class or when you're behind with homework, it helps you remain accountable and take responsibility for your education. It puts just a little bit of pressure on you to make sure you can catch up quickly or to make sure you're planning well. Better yet, when you communicate that you know that you're behind in homework, include in that email your plan or your due date for getting that late work in. It'll help you stay focused. So communicating with your professor about these two elements, missing class and missing homework, are key for your ongoing success. Next, you might hate me for saying this, but ask questions. There are different types of questions you can ask. All are important. You can ask a question about course content that your professor is covering. This helps you stay engaged in class and learn at a deeper level. You can also ask questions about assignments and course requirements. This is essential. I know that you may be shy in class or intimidated by your professor, but believe me, your professor and most every other student in the room will be grateful when you ask. I have sat down with countless students about halfway to 3/4 of the way through semester who have fallen behind in classes, and they'll just say, I just don't understand how to do the assignment. At that point, the only person to blame for that situation is yourself for not pursuing further clarification. You must take ownership of your learning and learn to ask questions when you're confused on an assignment. There's no shame in asking for further help and clarification, unless your prof just answered your question. Take notes as they explain assignments. Number 3, last but certainly not least, the tips on communication. Don't ghost. Completely disappearing from a course without communicating is the worst you can do. If your classes are too much or if something came up, let your professor know, and then let me know, and we can work something out. Oftentimes we can figure out the best way for you to move forward, whether it's dropping the class, remaining in it, or getting an extension. Ghosting can mean losing money, having to repeat a class, or just wrecking your GPA, all of which have long-term consequences. Communicate when you need it and you'll feel supported. Hopefully, those are some helpful reminders for you as you think about what your school semester looks like. With that, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.